Hello everybody, this is GamerGar. Welcome back to another video of Stardew Valley. For today's video we are going to talk about the worst items you can purchase in the game and why you should not purchase them. Now this is very opinionated, so comments are welcome in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe. So let's jump into the video. The first thing we're going to talk about is purchasing ores and coal from Clint. 250 gold for a piece of coal, 150 gold for copper, 250 for iron. It's absolutely insane, you know, unless you have an absolute ton of money and you just don't want to go down into the mines to farm ores, you know, then you could justify it. But if you're starting out in the game and if you don't have millions to burn, this is an option you're never ever going to use. 750 gold pieces for one gold ore, and you have to ask yourself, what can you do with one gold ore in the game? Absolutely nothing, because you need at least 5 to make one gold bar. So this is something that I recommend nobody actually does. Now some people do purchase the copper ores at the start of the game to rush the pickaxe early, because it is possible to get the pickaxe before the mines open, but that's about it. So my advice, stay away from Clint. Let's talk about the mountain and beach obelisks. So later on in the game you'll do a quest chain for the wizard and you get magical ink, and you can use this terminal here, and you can use this terminal to make various endgame items. The earth obelisk here, for example, 500,000 gold. That's a lot of money. Now it is cheap compared to what other obelisks cost, but you pay 500,000 gold for this earth obelisk, and all it does is literally teleport you up into the mountains, which is 2 screens away from your farm. It saves you the whole what of 15 seconds, 10 seconds of walking. If you have speed buffs, maybe 5 seconds of walking. And the same goes here for the beach totem. So just now this one, it's another 500,000 gold. It does spawn you down in the beach, but there's so many other ways you could spend 500,000 gold. An example would be investing it into crops, you know, and getting tenfold the money back. Then maybe you could purchase the obelisk. But if you have 500,000 gold lying around and you want to treat yourself to something, don't waste it on these obelisks. Get them when you have millions of gold. If you look at the desert obelisk here, for example, this is 1 million, but this is actually worth it because you're not waiting around for Pam when you get this. You don't need desert warp totems anymore, you know. So when it comes to farming Skull Cavern, you'll make your money back tenfold through the desert obelisk. And I'd say the same as well for the island obelisk that teleports you to Ginger Island. In my opinion, that's definitely worth it as well. That's another 1 million gold, but it just means you don't have to go all the way down to Willy and get the boat across. You know, you can literally use this, it'll spawn you straight into your farm, and then you can use the one on your farm and, you know, spawn straight back on your original farm. So it's a really nice gateway to have. But when it comes to the mountain and the beach obelisks, totally not worth it. Next up we have stone and wood from Robin. Now you would have noticed myself purchasing stone and wood in various 100-day challenges, but that's only because we were going on the maximum money we were going to make in 100 days, you know. When it comes to a regular playthrough, when it comes to you making profits, you kind of want to stay away from Robin when it comes to wood and stone, because like it's 100 gold for one piece of stone and 50 gold for one piece of wood is absolutely ridiculous. Now that is after year 1. It is cheaper to purchase it in year 1, but you're better off to just farm trees. If you need wood, grow a tree farm. It's so easy, especially if you have fertilizer. If you need stone, you know, just get a shed, fill them up with jades, and just deconstruct staircases. Next up we have the traveling cart lady. This lady is one of the biggest rip-off NPCs in the game. Anytime you need to purchase an item from her, it's just super expensive. Now I know sometimes you can very conveniently get an item from her, like if we look at the rare seed, for example, or, you know, various saplings that she might sell if you want a sapling, especially an out of season sapling, you know, fall seeds, like the salmon might come in handy, especially if you're not in salmon season. But the money she's going to charge you for these items, it's huge, you know, and you're not going to get your money back. Like, look at the rare seed there, it's 1,000 gold. There's actually an easier way to get a rare seed, it's just putting tons of crops into a seed maker. Just buy a load of cheap crops, you know, buy 1,000 gold worth of parsnips, and you'll get back a few rare seeds, no problem. Next up we have the iridium sprinkler you can get from Krobus. Now a lot of people would say it's super handy to get an iridium sprinkler. off Krobus. And it is, if you're loaded with money, 10,000 gold for this. So let's just break down the maths on this one. To make an iridium sprinkler, you need 1 iridium bar, 1 gold bar, and a battery pack. That is so easy to get. Into Skull Cavern, you don't even have to get down deep. You just need 5 iridium ores to make 1 bar. You can get gold ores super easy, and you can get the battery pack super easy using lightning rods or solar panels, and there you go, there's your iridium sprinkler. Definitely not worth 10 grand off Krobus, absolutely not. Next up, let's talk about the biggest money waster in the game. This is a flex for people who get the 10 million gold, and you just want to, you put it on your farm, so anyone who looks at your farm can say, oh yeah, this person made 10 million gold. Fair enough, it prevents debris from spawning your farm, it makes your fences invincible. Is it worth 10 million gold for that luxury? Absolutely not. It's, if you have 10 million gold, okay, my advice would be to invest it and make 50 million gold, then purchase it. So invest it into crops, invest it into animals, get yourself a pig army or something, or a big load of sheep, and just sell the wool. You make it back tenfold. But when it comes to these golden clocks, in my opinion, it's absolutely not worth 10 million gold. But if you think differently, let me know in the comments, because I'd love to hear what you think about these. As I said, all these things are very opinionated, And when it comes to the golden clock as well, it is a nice visual, but that's all it has going for it. It's a nice visual. It's a nice big clock in your farm. Let's talk about the community upgrade. So when you go to Robin here, once you complete the community center, 950 wood and 500,000 gold, it should actually upgrade Pam's caravan to an actual house, and a big house at that. This does absolutely nothing for you in the game. It doesn't change the way Pam reacts. It doesn't, it doesn't do anything. All it does is literally trade in the caravan for the house, and it is a huge amount of gold that you have to put towards this. And I mean, if you take a close look at the house, I mean, it's built. It's just built, and there's already alcohol bottles on the top of the door. So Pam doesn't really change her ways. She is still the town alcoholic along with Shane. I honestly think they'd make a great couple. You could pair up Shane with Pam, and they could just drink their sorrows away. That's just my opinion. I know Shane totally turns it around. I'm talking about the early Shane. Just so I don't get bombarded with comments saying, oh, don't hate on Shane, he's great, he turns it around. He absolutely does. But just look at those bottles at the top of the front door. It's shameless. So that's my opinion on the community development program when you upgrade Pam's house. Is it worth 500,000 gold? I don't think so. And it's actually something that I don't get done a whole lot in my farm. Because if you look at all my files, and if I ever walk into town, I normally just leave the caravan the way it is, because I think it's a true reflection of Pam. She has a drinking problem. She's always in the pub. She loves beer. That's just the way Pam is. Poor Penny has an awful life, because she has to live with it. But if you think differently, let me know in the comments. So I'm going to leave the video here. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed yet. The channel is growing, but it can grow faster if the 85% of the people that watch this content that are not subscribed subscribe. So hit that subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.